That digital currency nonsense of yours will never be worth a dime, my dad said, tapping his beer bottle against my uncle's. The backyard burst into laughter. My name's Caleb Warner. I'm 31, and for the past 8 years, I've been crafting blockchain solutions from my tiny studio apartment in Spokane. Not that my family cared to understand. Every gathering followed the same routine. Half-hearted questions about when I'd land a proper job, followed by crypto jabs that lost their charm years ago. I grinned and nodded, same as always. Let them laugh. The email I got yesterday was still fresh in my mind. A Singapore-based company's final buyout offer. $42 million, 0 cents for my transaction optimization system. 8 years of 20-hour days, instant noodle meals, and learning from every setback had brought me here. You know, son, my dad went on, dropping his voice so only I could hear. Mark says they're always looking for help at the warehouse. Solid benefits, too. Dad, I'm not hauling boxes for a living, I said, sharper than intended. His eyes narrowed. No need to get defensive, Caleb. Just trying to help you out of that fantasy world. I sipped my beer and glanced at my brother-in-law, Mark, across the yard, flaunting his new sunglasses, earned from managing logistics for a shipping company. He caught my gaze and shot me that familiar, pitying look. Driving home that night, my phone pinged. A text from my sister, Lauren. Don't take Dad's words to heart. He's just concerned about you. Concerned? He's been mocking me for years, I texted back, my fingers tight on the phone. Give him time, Caleb. He doesn't get it yet, she replied. I tossed the phone onto the seat next to me, ignoring it. They didn't need to know yet, not yet. Back at my apartment, I checked my laptop one last time. The wire transfer was processing. By Wednesday morning, I'd have more wealth than everyone at that barbecue put together. I shut the laptop and looked out the window. For the first time in years, I felt a quiet calm. I taught myself to code at 15, hunched over a refurbished desktop my mom picked up at a thrift store. I'd stay up until 4:00 a.m., soaking up every bit of knowledge I could. My parents figured it was a passing fad, like my brief stints with photography or mountain biking. He'll move on, they'd tell relatives when asked why I was holed up in my room all day. But I didn't move on. I finished high school, earned a partial scholarship to a state university, and studied software engineering. Everyone assumed I'd take the standard route, internship, junior developer role, steady climb, up the tech ladder. Instead, I left college in my senior year when I saw the potential in blockchain tech. My dad didn't talk to me for 5 months. My mom was heartbroken. Lauren tried to bridge the gap but eventually stopped defending my decisions at family events. I just don't get why you'd toss away a degree, my dad said when he finally broke his silence. Your grandfather worked in a steel mill for 45 years so his kids could get an education. I'm not throwing it away, Dad, I snapped back then. I'm building something bigger than you can see. He scoffed. Building what? A pipe dream? I tried explaining once, talking about decentralized systems, eliminating intermediaries, and the future of secure digital transactions. Their attention wandered within minutes. So I retreated to my apartment and poured myself into building. While friends settled down, bought condos, and shared travel selfies, I survived on coffee and delivery pizza, tackling intricate problems and inventing solutions nobody else had cracked. The first hint of change came 10 months ago. I'd released a technical paper on a new blockchain framework. Within 4 days, my inbox was overflowing with emails from investors. One of them, Rachel from Apex Ventures, requested a meeting. Your transaction protocol is a game changer, she said over a video call. Have you thought about its market value? I hadn't. I was just solving a puzzle that fascinated me. 4 weeks after that call, I got my first acquisition offer, $5 million, 0 cents. I passed. 8 weeks later, $12 million, 0 cents. I passed on that too. Lauren called around, then Dad's got some medical issues, she said. Not critical yet, but he might need treatment soon. I asked if they needed financial help. She paused before saying they'd manage. Caleb, it's bad, she added, her voice cracking. Mom's too proud to say it, but they're drowning in bills already. After hanging up, I stared at the latest offer in my inbox, $22 million, 0 cents, and felt an odd emptiness. What was the point of solving problems if I couldn't fix the ones that hit closest to home? 3 days before the family gathering, I sat in a virtual conference with 6 executives After 8 rounds of talks, they'd made their final offer, $42 million, 0 cents, with a 3-year consulting gig paying $250,000, 0 cents a year. "We need your decision today, Mr. Warner," the CEO said. "You're asking me to sign away my life's work," I said, my voice steady but tense. "This isn't just code. It's everything I've fought for." The CEO leaned forward. "And we're offering you the chance to make it global. Don't let pride cloud your judgment." I asked for 2 hours, wandered around my neighborhood, past families barbecuing in their driveways, kids skateboarding on the sidewalks. Ordinary lives, tangible lives, the kind my parents could grasp and respect. Back at my apartment, I signed the deal and closed my laptop. It should have felt like a victory. Instead, I felt a strange void. 8 years of work culminating in more money than I'd ever imagined, and no one to share it with who'd truly get what I'd achieved. At the gathering, watching my family chuckle about digital coins, I realized something. They weren't laughing because they didn't care. They were laughing because they couldn't see my vision. Their world valued success like Mark's shiny sunglasses or my cousin Ryan's corporate promotion. I considered flashing my phone to show them the pending transfer, but as my dad handed me another beer and gave me that familiar mix of warmth and disappointment, I held back. "You ever think about joining the real world, Caleb?" Mark called out, smirking. "Or are you still chasing those internet rainbows?" The table laughed, but I met his gaze. "Maybe the real world's catching up to me, Mark." He raised an eyebrow, caught off guard, but didn't push further. This wasn't about proving them wrong anymore. It was about something bigger, something I was just starting to grasp. On the drive home, I stopped at a lookout point over the city. Spokane's lights glittered below like a motherboard. I made a choice right there. I'd do things my way. No big reveal, no gloating, no "I told you so." Instead, I opened my banking app and created a new private account. Then I listed names. My parents, Lauren, her son Noah, my uncle Greg, who'd been laid off last year, even Mark. I knew exactly what I'd do, and none of them would know it was me. 2 months after the deal, I met with a financial planner in Seattle, a discreet woman named Sophia, who specialized in managing sudden wealth. "Most people in your shoes want to make waves," she said, reviewing my strategy. "Buy a penthouse, a yacht, show the world they've arrived." "That's not me," I said. "No." She smiled. "I can tell. We established several anonymous trusts and family support funds. I kept my studio, my old Toyota, and my usual habits. The only difference was knowing my family would never face financial strain again. They just wouldn't know I was the source." A month later, Lauren called, emotional. "No one needs glasses, Dad needs treatment, and they just slashed Mark's hours at work," she said. "I don't know how we'll handle it, Caleb." "I might be able to chip in a bit," I said, already knowing I'd cover it all. "Thanks, but..." She hesitated. "Dad doesn't want handouts, especially from you. He thinks you should focus on finding a steady job instead of your crypto obsession." He said, "What?" I asked, my voice tight. "He thinks you're wasting your life, Caleb," she said softly. "I tried to defend you, but he shut me down." That hurt more than I expected. "What did you tell him?" "I said I wouldn't ask you," she confessed. "I'm only calling because I'm out of options." After we hung up, I sat with that for a while. My own father would rather struggle than take help from me because he thought I was floundering. The irony was almost unbearable. That night, I saw a post on X from an old high school friend, now a local blogger, calling me out by name. Caleb Warner still chasing crypto dreams while his family struggles? Some priorities. It had hundreds of retweets. I slammed my phone down, fury rising. They didn't know. None of them did. The next day, Lauren called again, bewildered but thrilled. "You won't believe this. Some nonprofit reached out about a community fund for families with healthcare costs. They're covering Dad's entire treatment." "That's incredible," I said, knowing the fund was set up 2 days ago with one anonymous donor, me. And get this, Noah qualified for a full vision care grant through his school. They said someone funded it for kids in his class. "Sounds like your luck's turning," I said. Lauren paused. "It's strange, right? All this happening at once?" "Caleb, be honest," she pressed. "Did you have something to do with this?" I dodged. "Me? I'm just the crypto guy, remember?" She didn't laugh. I'm watching you, little brother. Sometimes good things just align, I replied. 3 days later, my phone buzzed with a text from Mark. Dude, heard about the ranch? My grandfather's ranch had been tangled in tax debt for years. My dad and his siblings had been scrambling to save it, always coming up short. What about it? I texted back. Someone cleared all the back taxes, anonymous donation. Your dad's losing it, I smiled as I typed. That's awesome news. At a small family party to celebrate saving the ranch, I watched my dad give an emotional toast about heritage and miracles. Everyone was tossing around guesses about their mysterious benefactor. Maybe it was Ryan, my aunt suggested. He's doing great at that corporate gig. Ryan shook his head. Wish I could claim it. Could be one of those tech moguls doing random good deeds, Mark offered. My dad glanced at me across the table. Definitely not Caleb's digital coins. He chuckled, but it felt less sharp this time. Why not, Dad? I said, my voice calm but firm. The table went quiet. You've never even asked what I do. He blinked, thrown. I didn't mean anything by it, son. I let it go, but the seed was planted. I raised my glass with the others and stayed quiet. 4 months after the deal, I got a call from Rachel at Apex Ventures. They're rolling out your system ahead of schedule, she said. The performance is exceeding projections. Your earn-out bonus just quadrupled. Just like that, my net worth jumped again. The initial $42 million, 0 cents, was now closer to $60 million, 0 cents. I thanked her and hung up, then sat staring at the bare walls of my unchanged apartment. That night, my mom called to invite me to dinner. It's been ages since you came by, she said, and your dad wants to talk to you about something. When I arrived at my childhood home, the mood was oddly charged. My dad waited until after dinner to speak up. I've been thinking, he said, toying with his napkin. You've been at this crypto thing for years. Maybe there's more to it than I realized. I set down my coffee. What made you rethink? I've been doing some reading, he admitted, catching me off guard. After all these blessings hitting our family, I started wondering if there are forces out there we don't fully get. My mom nodded. Your father thinks tech might be one of those forces, that maybe we've been too quick to brush off what you do. You've never once asked me about my work, I said, unable to hold back. You just assumed I was failing. My dad's face fell. Caleb, I was trying to protect you. I didn't want you to end up with nothing. I ended up with everything, I said quietly, and the room stilled. A lump formed in my throat. Is that so? I still don't get it, my dad said. But I'd like to, if you're willing to explain it again. For the next hour, I walked them through blockchain fundamentals. My dad asked sharp, thoughtful questions. My mom jotted down notes. It was the most interest they'd ever shown in my work. As I left, my dad walked me to my car. Son, I've been tough on you, he said quietly. I thought you were wasting your life. But these past few months have made me rethink what matters. It's not about the job or the paycheck. It's about family. Then why did it take miracles for you to see me? I asked, my voice raw. He looked away, ashamed. I don't have a good answer, son, but I'm trying now. I nodded, too moved to speak. Whatever happens with this crypto business, I want you to know I'm proud of you for sticking to your guns. That takes courage. Driving home, I realized something profound had happened. By helping my family without flaunting my success, I'd given my dad something more valuable than money, a chance to accept me on his own terms. The next morning, Lauren called, her voice hushed. Caleb, something's up, she said. Mark thinks someone's secretly helping our family. Why would he think that? Too many coincidences. The healthcare fund, Noah's glasses, the ranch taxes. Now, he just got a promotion at a new company with a big raise, out of the blue. Someone's pulling strings. I kept my tone even. Maybe your luck's just changed. Mark thinks it's you, she said bluntly. He says you've been acting different, more relaxed, like someone who's got it all figured out. He said that, I asked, a chill running through me. He's been digging, Caleb, asked around about your company, found some article about a big blockchain deal in Singapore. That threw me. Me with what money? That's what I said, Lauren laughed. Unless your digital coins finally paid off. I steered the conversation elsewhere, but after we hung up, I realized I'd underestimated Mark. He might manage warehouses, but he could read people. Later that day, I got a text from Mark. "We need to talk. I know you're behind the miracles. Meet me at Rusty's bar, 8 p.m. My stomach dropped. The anonymity I'd worked so hard to maintain was unraveling. For the first time, I questioned whether staying anonymous was the best move. 6 months after the deal, I met with Sophia again to review my financial plan. "The anonymous approach is solid," she said. "But there's a snag with long-term giving. Your family's starting to spot the pattern." I nodded. "My brother-in-law's getting suspicious. He confronted me last night," I admitted. "Showed me a news clipping about the Singapore deal. Didn't have my name, but he's putting it together." Sophia raised an eyebrow. "Sounds like you've got a sharp one on your hands." "You've got choices," Sophia explained. "Keep giving anonymously with longer gaps between gifts, set up a formal family trust with privacy clauses, or just tell them the truth." I didn't answer right away. Each option had its strengths. "What's stopping you from being open?" she asked softly. "I'm not sure," I admitted. "At first, I didn't want to shove it in their faces. Now, I think I'm scared it'll change everything." "Money often does," she agreed. After some thought, I chose a balanced approach. I'd create a family trust, but reveal my role slowly, starting with the person I trusted most to handle it well. The next day, I asked Lauren to meet me at a cafe in downtown Spokane. "You're freaking me out," she said when she arrived. "You never do this." I slid a folder across the table. "I need you to see this." She opened it and frowned at the legal papers inside. "What's this?" "It's a trust fund for Noah's college, fully funded." Lauren's eyes widened as she scanned the documents. "This is millions of dollars. Caleb, what did you do, rob a bank?" "No," I chuckled. "Remember my blockchain project? The one everyone mocked?" Her face lit up with realization. "You sold it." I nodded. 6 months ago, for $42 million, 0 cents. Lauren's coffee cup froze midair. "Say that again?" I laid it all out. The acquisition, the consulting deal, the anonymous gifts. By the time I was done, Lauren was shaking her head in disbelief. "So all this time, while Dad was trying to get you a warehouse job, I was figuring out how to help everyone without making it about me," I said. "You're unreal," she said, but she was grinning. "Why tell me now?" "Because Mark's on to me," I said, leaning forward. "He's asking questions, digging into my work. I need you to help me control the narrative before he blows it wide open." Lauren's smile faded. "He's been talking to Dad, too. Said you're hiding something big. Dad thinks you might be in trouble, like gambling or worse." "I need your help. I'm setting up a bigger family trust, but I don't want to drop it like some big show. I want everyone to understand what the money's for and where it came from before they know the scale." Lauren reached across and squeezed my hand. "You always were the quiet, tricky one." Over the next few weeks, Lauren helped me set the stage. She casually shared articles about blockchain breakthroughs with her parents. She got Mark to talk about cryptocurrency at dinner one night, giving me a chance to chime in with insights that made my dad look at me differently. But Mark wasn't buying it. After dinner, he pulled me aside. "Cut the act, Caleb. I know you're the one bailing us out. Why hide it? Scared we'll think less of you?" I kept my cool. "You're reading too much into it, man." He smirked. "We'll see." We organized a family financial planning session, framed as a discussion about the ranch's future. I brought in an advisor, not Sophia, but someone who could talk broadly about trusts and estate planning. The pieces were coming together. My family was starting to see crypto as legitimate, and me as someone who might know what he's doing. The final piece fell into place when Lauren mentioned that Noah's middle school was holding a career day. "Would you speak about being a developer?" she asked, giving me a knowing look. It was the perfect opening. Career day at Noah's school came exactly 7 months after I signed the deal. Lauren had arranged for my parents to be there to support Noah. Mark showed up too, curious about what I'd say. I stood before a room of 13-year-olds and their parents and kept it simple. 8 years ago, I dropped out of college to work on something my family didn't get. They thought I was making a mistake. I glanced at my parents. They worried about me. The kids looked restless, but the adults were tuned in. I was building a blockchain system to make digital transactions faster and safer. Most days I didn't know if it would pan out. I ate a lot of instant noodles. I skipped family events to fix code. People laughed at my digital coins. A few kids giggled. I smiled. 7 months ago, I sold my company for $42 million, 0 cents. The room went dead quiet. My dad's jaw dropped. My mom's hand covered her mouth. Mark's eyes bugged out. He leaned toward Lauren, whispering loud enough for me to hear. Told you he was hiding something. But that's not the real story, I went on. The real story is that success doesn't always look like what people expect. Sometimes the guy in the old Toyota, wearing the same jeans for years, is building something that changes the game. I wrapped up by announcing a tech grant for the school, funded by me, to give every student access to computers and coding classes. When I stepped down, Noah ran up and hugged me. That was so cool, Uncle Caleb. My parents approached slowly like they were in a trance. $42 million, 0 cents, my dad said softly. Son, is that for real? Actually, it's closer to $60 million, 0 cents now with the earnout bonuses, I said. My mom started crying. My dad looked like he might too. The ranch taxes, he said. Noah's glass is my treatment. I nodded. That was you. Why didn't you tell us? He demanded, his voice breaking. Did you think we wouldn't be proud? I swallowed hard. I didn't want it to change how you saw me. I wanted to help, I said simply, without making a fuss. Mark stepped forward and offered his hand. I knew something was up. Didn't think it was this. He shook his head, laughing. Man, I've been trying to get you warehouse jobs, and I've been trying to tell you I don't need them, I said, a hint of edge in my voice. He nodded, respect in his eyes for the first time. They were good offers, I said, shaking his hand. Just not my road. 3 weeks after career day, I helped my parents settle into their new home, a cozy single-story place near Lauren and Noah, with no steps to trouble my dad's hip after his treatment. I'd bought it through the family trust, this time with their full awareness. Still don't fully get what you built, my dad said as we unpacked boxes in his new shed, but I'm trying to learn. That's all I ever wanted, I told him. He paused, holding a box of old camping gear. I'm sorry I didn't see what you were working on. You couldn't have known. No, he agreed, but I could have trusted you more. You can now, I said, meeting his gaze. I'm not going anywhere. That evening, the whole family gathered for dinner on the back patio. Mark was buzzing about the coding boot camp he'd enrolled in. Never too late to pick up new skills, he said. Lauren had left her grueling HR job to launch her own consulting firm, seeded with funding from me. She was already helping other families navigate tough times. Noah was teaching my mom how to buy her first Ethereum on a mobile app. As I watched them, I saw something had shifted deeply. The money had eased our burdens, sure, but what had truly changed was something more. A new respect, not just for what I'd done, but for different ways to succeed. I stepped away from the table for a moment and walked to the edge of the yard. The sun was dipping over Spokane, casting the sky in reds and golds. My phone buzzed with an email from Rachel. Another firm wanted to discuss my consulting services at 4 times my current rate. I pocketed the phone without replying. It could wait. Everything okay? My dad had followed me out. Better than okay, I said, turning to him. But I need to ask, why did it take so long for you to believe in me? He sighed, looking out at the city. Pride, son. I thought I knew what success looked like. You showed me I was wrong. Just soaking it in, I said. He nodded, a look of understanding in his eyes that wasn't there before. Your grandfather would have been proud, he said, not of the money, of the grit. I got that from you, I told him honestly. He put his arm around my shoulders, a move that would have felt forced months ago but now felt right. Come back to the table, he said. Your mom wants to know if she should buy Bitcoin next. I laughed and followed him back to the family I'd always had, but who could finally see me.